Okay, all right. It's looking good. We got sound running, Peesh. Got video looking good. Got the wizard stoom. All right, I think I'm ready to go, Peesh. You ready to go? Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Wait, you know what? Before we go any further,
Yeah.
I've thought about this a bit.
Okay.
You know, I'm the father of dragons.
Yeah, I know this, yes.
And, you're part of the bloodline, man.
That's true. We're cousins.
Yeah, and you should have your own dragon.
Huh?
So we've got you something.
Oh!
Yes. 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 We will burn them all.
Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 31. My name is Kyle the Red. I'm joined, as always, by my cousin, my co-host, Jason the Peesh. We've got a fantastic show today, ladies and gentlemen. Lots going on in the Orlando Magic universe. We're going to check in with each other, as always, for the Chuma Are You OKK check-in. Peesh is going to, for the first time this year, ladies and gentlemen, get excited. He's going to lead us through what I learned. We'll scour the interwebs in our social media roundup. We'll play a little starter backup bench. It's been a while. I missed you. Then we'll shine some light on something in sunshine and throw down a little bit of shade. And we'll finish it off in our Court Cousins Championship, where we talk about where the belt is going and where it may go next. But before we get into any of that hilarity and hijinks, we want to shout out all of our all-stars and second cousins on our Patreon. Thank you to Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Wally Akbar, Al, Bernie Pichet, Matthew, Bell, Dan Wonder, Gloria and Damien, Yachty, Connor, and the Polish Wonder.
Popcorn, peanuts.
Oh, I like that one.
Hot dogs here.
Fitting shout out, Peesh.
Cold beer.
Fitting shout out. Considering we had some popcorn when we went and saw Orlando Magic in New York, stick around. That's just a little bit of tease for the vlog coming later in the episode, which I didn't mention at the top. Thanks again, everyone, for joining our Patreon. If you can, we've got some goals right now. We're on our way on the march to 1,000 subscribers, Peesh. And if I had a spell, I'd cast it right now, but it's in the people's hands. They need to just do that magic of pressing that little subscribe button.
Yeah, save your spells.
Okay.
Because you only get 3, right? Or is that something different?
That's different. I think that's
genies?
Yeah, that's genies and wishes and lamps.
I'm not familiar with any magic that doesn't have to do with basketball. So.
But, you know, if I rub my staff, magic things do happen. Anyways, moving on. We are giving away every episode 34 magic cards for the next 2 months, celebrating our 34th year. We want to give that as a thank you to you. And Peesh has curated each stack.
I will.
Yes, stick around till the end of the episode to figure out how you can win that 34 card set, along with a couple other goodies. It's definitely going to include subscribing, and you're going to have to make some type of comment, which we'll let you know at the end of the episode. Yeah. All right, now let's get right into it, Peesh. I love you, buddy. You're my cousin. How are you doing today for the Chuma Are You OKK check-in?
Well, different today than when I made this graphic before the Hornets game, because I thought we were going to record the show before the Hornets game, in all honesty. But I'm sticking with this vibe. So I'm gonna go into it with this. I've actually kind of borrowed a little bit from our social media roundup here, as I've used a tweet from Jonathan. Super fan Jonathan. You guys have seen him in Orlando wearing whatever colors are playing that day. He writes, 0-5 or 5-0, I'm still fucking showing up tomorrow and being rowdy as fuck, because this is still our city and our team. Hashtag Magic Together. I've also paired this with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who wants you to give him a hell yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
feel the same way. And then just to meet the criteria, I put Chuma Okeke missing a three-pointer in the corner, shooting with one hand. But honestly, this was my vibe most of the week, kind of watching the spiral downfall of Magic fans who just got so depressed about what is essentially what we expected for this season, you know, with our over-under, people are just going a little too crazy that, like, oh, we're starting the season with 5 losses. And it's like, yeah, you didn't expect us to be 3-2 after 5 games, did you? Like, let's keep it a little measured. There's a bunch of you new guys learning how to play together. And we played some tough teams in that group. And we played against the Celtics really well, the defending Eastern Conference champions. So everybody should just relax, continue to go to the arena, and have this Jonathan mindset of being rowdy as F. Because let's remember, relax. It's early. And as shown by the Hornets game, which is maybe not a good subset of games to come because of all the injuries that the Hornets have. They're not quite a full running NBA team. But
although it's pretty even because we have the same amount of injuries.
It's a win to get off the schneid, and there we go. I think if I was making this Chuma Kiki check-in this morning, we're actually recording in the morning, which is not a good time for me. It's totally off.
Peach will not be as funny on this episode.
Probably not. But I'll do my best. So how are you feeling for the Okiki check? KK check-in?
Yeah, thank you. I am doing really well, Peach. I know last time I was kind of in the darkness and the clouds, but we mentioned that there was going to be some sunshine coming through. And so my Chuma is kind of in a transition period here. He's moving between fall and winter. Up here in the Northeast, we're feeling that. The weather is getting crisper and colder outside. And I'm, personally just kind of, again, transitioning from kind of feeling a little down to starting to feel really good. Having the basketball season comes around is definitely something that helps with my mood. Interacting with you all out there and the live streams that we've been doing makes me feel really good. But I've also been getting back into my working out. I've been getting back into my meditation, and those types of things, the mindfulness, the breathing, the journaling, all those things help me to be my best Chuma. And I'm feeling that way moving into wintertime.
Important to know that you're breathing. I'm very glad to know that.
Hey, man. Don't underestimate the breathing.
I'm not.
It's
I'm
simple,
not. I know it sounds like
but it's life-changing, man. It's amazing. Yeah, no jokes from Peach today. You're getting serious Peach. Yep. There's a lot of stats in this episode. Some of them may be from Peach.
So I can go back to sleep.
All right, now it's time for you to shine, Peach. The first one of the year. So drink some coffee, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for What I Learned. I'm the teacher here, but this is when Peach takes us to school and tells us some of the tidbits that he noticed in the recent games from our Orlando Magic. What did you learn, Peach?
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm learning. I'm excited to be back in the classroom here. I'm excited to be back in full uniform for shows now. It feels good. Right now, it's still warm enough that I'm not completely cold up here with this, but we'll see how it goes. We'll start it off where the season started.
Okay.
In Detroit.
Yes.
A 113-109 loss to the Pistons. Cole was out with illness before the game, which I think was kind of shocking to all of us. It must have been something serious to keep Cole Anthony off the court, I would imagine. Early on, I noticed that Beef Stew was shooting threes poorly and was like, why is he doing that? But that was foreshadowing for later. The Motor City Baddies took the lead in the dance team competition that I'll talk a little bit about at the end. The Magic had a great start in this game, 28-17 after the first quarter. Feeling good, looking good. Everybody's playing
so
well.
good.
Then the Pistons come back in the second quarter where we got outscored 40-27.
Yikes.
To be losing at halftime. I wondered where RJ Hampton was in this one. It didn't seem like he was making the rotation, and it was kind of like something's wrong. If Cole's out, don't we need more guards? Why is he not playing? He finally showed up late in the third. Suggs looked better in the third, but he's erratic, and I think it's starting to like make us a little like whoa. Like sometimes guys are out there doing good things, and it pays off, and then other times you're like it's not a high percentage play, and that's why people don't do it a lot. But I think he's kind of got to figure some of that stuff out. I wrote down the term Bogdanovich because that's what I like to call him. This cat was wide open for three several times in the game. He ended up leading them in scoring, I believe, in this one. And just we refused to cover him. And you know what? He's an NBA guy who's known for shooting, so he's going to hit him.
Yeah.
The refs don't like Jalen Suggs.
No, they do not.
They don't. And we learned that even more in this game. I'm not sure when that can turn for him.
Yeah.
But right now they view him as a rookie that's playing erratically, and they're not going to give him the benefit of the doubt on a lot of calls. So
definitely not.
A lot of times with his quick hands when he's going for the steal, if there's any doubt there, they just call the foul. Same thing when he goes for block attempts.
Yeah.
I notice him talking to the referees a lot, and he seems pretty civil.
Yes.
So I've got to assume at some point he's going to start to win them over. But right now, it ain't there.
No.
So he needs to be a little more careful because he can get into foul trouble in the first quarter very quickly.
He does sometimes, yeah.
So, yeah, the game didn't end the way we thought it would, but we were impressed with Paolo's debut. He played very well. And for missing Cole and having to adjust with that at the last second, this is a game I feel like we will look back at and be like, that's a game we could have won, but there's going to be more of those this year, which is the positive. But we'll get to that at the end. So the next game was at Atlanta. We lost 108-98. It was our first live stream of an actual game.
Yes.
So during that, I learned where the Philippines were, as we had someone coming in from the Philippines. I thought that was fun. Someone else was coming in from an awkward location as well, right?
No, we had some people from California and the Philippines. I think that was
definitely
zaniest we got.
Covering some globe on that one. One of our Patreons, Wally, was asking fantastic questions, including who on the team would you most want to smoke with?
Yeah.
I believe that you chose Cole, and I, of course, smoking a bowl with Bol Bol. Let's go. And then who would you send into the house to save your cat?
Yeah, Catman Wally.
Yeah, so he is now the Catman.
Yeah, Wally, you're the Catman.
He's Catman Jr. because... we had a cat.
Terry Catman, Catledge. We can't usurp him, no.
The Magic led most of the first half, and by as many as 13, but a bad third quarter.
Again.
Get ready for that, because that's going to be a theme throughout all of what I learned today. And a worse fourth just pissed it away. Cole was back in this game. He had 25 points in his season debut, was probably one of the bright spots. Again, Paolo playing solid. Again, another 20-point performance. It didn't even really make my notes because he just kind of does it, Like, it doesn't look like he's pressing. It doesn't look like he's going overboard. We'll talk about him more later. Next, to the Celtics, our home opener, a 126-120 loss, but they covered the spread if you're into betting. And, the fans were hyped for this one, and that's all I heard a lot about was how hyped inside the arena it was.
Yes.
We'll probably talk about this a little bit later.
We will.
There's not been a home court advantage, so good to see that people are excited there. All of our starters were in double figures. T. Ross with 29, just kind of out of the blue.
Love to see it. Not quite enough for me, though, Torch.
Again, trouble in the third.
And
a small lead in the fourth, but the Celtics put it away because the Celtics have been in a lot of these type of games, and they know how to win down the stretch. But this is a key game for us. I think this is a key loss because this, like I said, we cover the spread. We're in this ball game with the Eastern Conference champions. I think that's a good sign of things to come.
Definitely,
People get too wrapped up in the 0-5 start, but these are games that are positives, even though it's a loss.
And if there's a team that has a blueprint for us to get to an NBA championship, it's the Boston Celtics. We've got big wings like they do, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, building around those types of players.
Yeah, I think
we're not too far.
Be better than them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Jason Tatum's a damn good player. Jaylen Brown's extremely good. Those guys are all-stars. So
they're all right. Our
guys will get there. Jalen Suggs can be Marcus Smart. We have that path before us. We just need to continue on this trajectory, I think.
Fair. Next up was the Knicks. We lost 115-102. The Court Cousins were at the game.
Woo!
We both took trains down into the city. That was kind of fun. The Bol Bol Train Train, as you'll learn about later. I noticed that Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau? Is it Thibodeau?
Yeah, not Thibodeau.
Thibodeau looks like the human Charlie Brown. You know how Charlie Brown's got that weird little squiggle only in the middle?
Yeah.
I think if they ever do a live action Peanuts, I think Tom Thibodeau needs to be considered for Charlie Brown. Paulo may be him, but Tom Thibodeau needs to contact Hims because he has some hair loss going on. And I'm just saying, buddy, when it's leaving, just let it go.
He could talk to Evan because Evan had those issues too. They could maybe has a discount code.
Well, see, Evan just got rid of it all. He just decided I'm not going to cling to this anymore. I think.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah.
More on patchy hair coverage later. I know you're all waiting for it. So another bad third quarter in this one put us behind the eight ball. I feel like we were in this game, I believe down on just 4 at halftime. Our zone defense sucks. Our outside shooting is terrible. Chuma cannot hit threes. Our whole squad 7 for 35 from 3 in this game. Just blah. If you're looking for the bright spot, this was the Bol Bol breakout. 19 points, a career high, and one higher than his father's all-time high.
Yeah.
That's got to be
that's a cool moment.
Conversation with Dad.
Yeah.
He also had 5 boards and 4 blocks in this one. Yeah. So he was just kind of all over the court doing fun stuff. The Knicks had too much girth down low. Mitchell Robinson was a problem. I'm sure you saw it in our wrap-ups and stuff like that.
Well,
if
you will.
Didn't see that, go ahead and back and watch those for a little bit more.
Oh, that's right.
From the game. So check the socials for that. Next up, at Cleveland, 103-92 loss. just going to lead with the fact that there's eventually a bad third quarter. That was that theme that kind of ran through this. Got to get better at those. I mean, you're coming out of the break from halftime, and it seems like we just never get back to where we were in the first and second quarter quickly enough, and that's a problem.
Yep.
We started to jump shoot a lot after having some success getting to the basket. In the second half, we started to shoot a lot, and it was settle for those shots that weren't falling. And that's annoying because no one was even lukewarm, room temperature, or even like Domino's mild wings level of heat. And so then we went back to getting to the basket and started to have a little bit more success, but it was kind of too late at that point. 6 of 24 from 3. That's just
I'm going to talk about that more later.
It's not going to get it done.
Yeah.
Paolo had 29 points. We thought it was 30, but then they backed it up to 29.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Franz dropped in 22. Seti Osman is a bitch. He has patchy beard hair that is like, hey man,
wow.
You gotta.
I'm feeling this is a little bit much though, Peach.
Well, yeah, but if your beard isn't growing in good, then you just
find a style, do a goatee,
or go with the jawline. It seemed like his jawline was strong.
Okay,
but the patchiness of it, it looks weird. It gives me hobo vibes. It's like nobody wants to get their ass busted.
You're on
the
TV
front
every
by a
day.
hobo. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like you might be interviewed. Shape it up a little bit. I mean, I know the team's got a barber somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody help this man out. That's all I'm saying. Raul Neto is my trash player of the week, not because he's actual trash, but because that guy hustles like a son of a gun. And it was really bothering us bringing the ball up. And nobody on our team stepped up to give him that elbow of reality to have him calm down.
Yeah.
Admiral Schofield wasn't in this game. And without Moritz out there, we don't have our German Shepherd to like kind of
no enforcer.
Hey man, stop messing with our guys.
Yeah.
And it showed. It was a problem towards the end of the game. I'm going to go ahead. I didn't add it in here, but last night's game made everybody feel good after 5 losses, right? A blowout win of the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, this thing was out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a
I
combination
got bored.
of us playing well. Yeah. We were doing a live stream.
Yep.
It was our second live stream. And I mean, we were just talking about goofy stuff in the second half because it got out of control. It felt like a preseason game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we were giving out all types of dating advice. If you want, you can go check that back out on the live stream record.
I mean, Mo Bamba was in there hitting 3-pointers.
Oh, my
and stuff
God. He's ended with 19.
Bananas. It was just bananas. So it wasn't like a very good like representation of what had been going on up to this point. The Hornets were playing poorly. They shot poorly. They don't have a lot of star power on that team right now with guys out. So it was a rough go for them, but it was nice for us to get a win at the end of all that. Because
we'll take it.
Everybody was so sour after those first 5. And it's like, every once in a while you're going to get one of these wins. But when you look back at those 5 games I talked about, we were in all those games. The score at the end, the worst one is against the Knicks. We lost by 13. And that score is not indicative of how close the game was.
We were at 6 like in the fourth quarter.
Right. And it got away a little at the end. So we're in all those games. That's so much better than last year where like a lot of times you want to go to bed at the fourth quarter because we're down by 20 and it ain't happening.
I got to floss.
We're in all these games, making people stay up to the end, making these guys fight till the end. And that's something that I can get behind. So that's part of what I learned wrap up right there. That's a freebie. I didn't have it on the slide, but it's fine. In the Dance Team Championship Series, the Pistons started out hot.
Okay.
But then the Hawks squad brought it in. They had swagger, man. And I liked their outfits. They had good team camaraderie. The Knicks dancers are not good. It's a small group and they feel super fancy.
They take themselves too serious. Peach isn't into that.
And it's not good.
No.
It's not good at all. They weren't even wearing any Knicks colors in either presentation. So it was like, who are you here for?
They're the type of people when you approach them at the bar and you're like, hey, how you doing? They're like, they look you up and down. They're like, no.
Yes.
It's like that vibe. You don't want that.
Yep. And then the Cavs squad, more on them later, wasn't enough. So right now, if you're keeping track of who the champion is, I know you're going to hate to hear it, but it's the Atlanta Hawks dance squad is currently holding the championship belt for the Dance Team Championship Series.
Okay. Congratulations, Hawks.
I learned to enjoy that we're getting closer in these games and that Okiki, Bamba, and RJ are going to struggle to get on the floor going forward. I mean, I know they played well in that win last night because they got a lot more playing time, but it's been pretty clear that those are the guys that are on the outs, and we'll talk about that more later.
Starter back and bench coming at you soon.
I also learned that Magic fans are fickle and overreact on social media. I mean, I think I knew it, but man, these guys just jump off a ledge fast, because even after the win, now we're like, oh, now we're back and we're right. And everyone's like, spirits are back up today. And I'm glad your spirits are back up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, you got to stop reacting so much to one game here, one game there, 5 games here, 5 games there. You need to look at the overall body of work as a bigger portion. There's still 76 games to go, people. So,
yeah. I hear you.
Relax. And that's what I learned. You know, I probably learned a lot more than that, but sometimes you forget what you learned. But that's the basics. Those are the points you need to know for the test.
Wow. Thanks, Peach. Give him a round of applause to the first one of the season.
And put down my fake notes.
Awesome. So you take a breather. You get a little water there, Peach. And we're going to take this one now into social media roundup. This is where we scour the interwebs for your interesting, insightful, or just downright funny posts about our beloved Orlando Magic. And man, were there quite a few, but we had to whittle it down to only 4 because we've got a lot of show for you, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around, all right? So the first one, this is from 407MPH on Instagram here. And they have the very often used, the very popular meme right now of the Halloween costume. And on the front of it, we have the long-legged gazelle running Bol Bol. And this is just a costume for GOAT.
Yep.
And you know, this has been, as you said, the New York game that we were at, that was his coming out party. 19 points, right? Outscores Dad. Dad's looking down from, I think Dad passed away tragically. But, you know, he's got to be proud of that moment. Bol Bol is just, he's emerging, and we're now seeing all these videos around of people saying that Bol Bol is here and it's a problem, and it might be. It might be. I mean, I kind of doubted at the beginning of the season. We joked around. You said you were going to set a over-under for our Court Cousins championship belt, and I immediately said I was going to take the under because I just wasn't sure. He looked a little uncomfortable out there. He didn't really look confident. But boy, has Jamal Mosley and this team's confidence really sunk into him, because he looks like a different player out there. He's playing free. He's taking open shots now. He's not passing up open looks. And there's some big stats, Peach, that I want to lay on you and the people out there.
Oh.
His points per scoring attempts, which is your total points scored per 100 shot attempts, is at 139.5. That's 6th in the NBA, Peach, amongst bigs, forwards, and centers. 6th in the NBA.
I know you guys see that on the back of the sports cards a lot. That stat always comes up. So.
Yeah, PSA, huge. It's huge. He's scoring 90% at the rim, ladies and gentlemen. All right? He's only behind Kevin Durant in the NBA. That's 2nd in the league at scoring at the rim.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because one of the things I've noticed most about his game is how good he is around the rim, how strong he is with the ball despite having these thin arms. He can take a foul and still finish well at the rim. Just nice soft hands, yet strong at the same time.
Yes.
Rarely seen a guy like this. In fact, I think I saw this same exact outfit hanging right next to another one where he's wearing a white jersey and it said unicorn on it.
So I mean, are you amending your previous claim? Are you beginning
No,
to
people
maybe...
dress up as things that aren't real all the time. There are no wizards.
Okay. Well, I mean, in Orlando, I mean, come on, we got...
Well, in Washington.
Oh, no, that wasn't the right one. Damn it. I was going for the razzmatazz, but it didn't work. I got one more stat for you, Peach, because Bol Bol isn't just adept with the dribble and having that soft touch. He's also doing big man shit, Peach, which I know you love to see. He's swatting balls left and right. He sent one into the 4th row from in the Knicks game. He's 3rd in the league, ladies and gentlemen, in total blocks, only behind Brook Lopez and Mitchell Robinson. And Mitchell Robinson probably got half of them against us. So really, when we're talking about, you know, spreading them out over a season, Bol Bol is tops in the league in terms of how he's scoring and defending as a big. And I'm just so pleasantly surprised. I'm sure many of you are out there. Did you all see this coming? Like, put it in the comments. How are you feeling about this Bol Bol that we're seeing, and what role might he play moving forward? What are you thinking, Peach?
We heard about the Bol Bol hype, and you know, that's why we invented the Bol Bol Train Train early, to announce that we're on it. And That's why we invented the Bowl Patrol, a group of people who follow Bowl, where he comes up, knocks on your window, and tells you about what you did wrong and why your ball's in the third row now, sitting next to Chris Rock and at the Knicks game, because I've swatted it out. I mean, I really enjoy the time that he's getting on the court. He's making the most of it, and I think that's all he's ever needed.
Yep.
I think people in the Denver Nuggets franchise are probably looking at this and going, "Whoa."
Yeah.
They have no words probably because they're just like, dang, why couldn't we have found a way to make this guy work? And hopefully he continues to prove, and I know he's going to continue to see minutes because he's doing big things out there.
Yeah, certainly is. Certainly is. So maybe this is no longer necessary, this post, Peach, but I think it's good to maybe revisit it a little bit. I think you have some words on this next one. This was from Maddie World, and this is at Maddie World Peace. So glad to be back. Hashtag Magic Together. This is after our 0-4 start. And it's a little meme where someone's looking at an Orlando Magic logo and they're saying, thank you for changing my life. And the Magic logo is saying, I literally give you seasonal depression. And that's definitely how it was feeling. I mean, look, I'm not throwing stones, okay? I know I'm a wizard, but I'm not in my ivory tower right now. I'm not casting down stones at you. I was with you. I was one of us, all right? After that 0-4 start, I admit, all right? I didn't know. Okay, I'm good. I was kind of tired, and I was a little frustrated, and I did see Paolo Banchero, and I did see the positive things, and I know, Peace, you have your relax, but I did expect more wins, even just in that first stretch of 4. Right. If we're expecting the team to get in the 30s-ish of wins, you got to be winning. I mean, right now our winning percentage is 20%. That's not 30 wins on a season. That's 16. And that is, I know there's more to come. I know we're injured, but my frustration came because of that, because I've been just repeating myself. I feel like I am stuck in some type of Halloween mirror house where I just keep seeing the same thing over and over, a bad episode of Groundhog Day where we've been injured for 2.5 years. And it's like, I know that it should be getting better, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, will it ever? Like, will we ever be healthy? And it's not helping with guys going down left and right. Sure. Now we're getting injured more and more. So you're helping me, Peace. You're helping me, telling me to relax, giving me the larger perspective. But I do empathize with fans out there, especially in that 0-4 start, and maybe even still now where it's like, damn, again.
Mm-hmm. Well, Steph wanted me to point out to you that, while we agree on the injury thing always being a problem, it is a problem for a lot of NBA teams. Yeah. And it's just part of life. The thing is that if you're saying some of the same narratives you've said for the past 5 or 6 years, you were wrong all those other past years. Aaron Gordon wasn't him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Vooch wasn't going to take us to the promised land by himself. Evan Fournier shouldn't have been a starting guard for us. Like, there was a lot of things you were telling yourself that were incorrect. So that narrative seems longer for a lot of you because you just were off.
Yeah, but Markelle was injured. I think with that team, with Markelle and J.I., that would have been a good team. We saw they started, that 2018-19 season or 19-20 season? Like 6-2 or something, 7-2. Right. And then J.I. and Markelle goes down at that point, and we already didn't have J.I., but sure. I don't know. I want to push back a little bit on that.
Could have been the 7 or 6 seed. I mean,
okay.
We're talking about trying to get to talking about trying to get to a championship level instead of hanging out in the mid card. So I think that we took the right steps to get there. And unfortunately, sometimes when you build stuff up, you got to tear it down first, build that foundation, and it takes a while.
Oh. Well, so then...
And I actually have seasonal depression, so the Magic don't give it to me. It's just been a thing.
It's just there.
It's a thing I have and overcome pretty well. So, like, I'm not going to let a basketball team single-handedly send me to that place. And I suggest to all of you that you find something else to root for or like to even you out.
You got to diversify. But the problem is, Peach, and I don't want to... Some of the people listening to this podcast, they're Tampa Bay and Miami football fans.
Yeah, that's tough for them, but you know what? They've also had a lot of success with the Stanley Cup and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's true. Yeah, watch some hockey.
Rays are usually good.
Go watch some puck.
There's a lot of other things to feel positive about, and I'm sure Miami Dolphin fans still think that, like, oh, now that Tua's back, we're going to go ahead and get back to where we were before. No, you're not.
Miami Dolphins fans, give Peace shit in the comments right now. Go.
The Bucks are going to turn it around, though. This is
okay.
a down spell,
I don't know.
I think
I don't know. Giselle's gone, man.
Yeah,
she's not coming
the
back.
Source of their powers.
All right. Well, if you're feeling down, here's a little chuckle from you. One that Peach got a laugh out of on Instagram. Maybe this has happened to you. It happened to our live stream last night when Sexy Girl 69 came into the chat and started spamming us. Some unknown ladies coming with some offers here.
No, that was a dude sending out.
Yeah, perhaps. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's probably the same thing here. And this is from the recovering problem
this
child.
This is Bumble Chat. I know you're unfamiliar
this is
with
Bumble
this
Chat.
This is clearly a Bumble Chat.
Yeah, but this is...
These two people have matched. And now
okay. This is Bumble. So I'm a little off on this.
Right.
All right. So Sarah says, hey. And our protagonist says, hey, what's up? Sarah says, are you big? Pretty big. I played as a center in high school, so I can grab some rebounds. Sarah, I meant D. Oh, yeah, I can guard all five positions.
Epic. Epic. I would love to have that conversation. If that happened on Bumble, I would be like, wow, she is aggressive. So I would hit her with these jokes and I wouldn't get it.
But then you wouldn't get any ass.
No, but then I'm sure this next bubble leads to here's the link to my OnlyFans, because no girl comes that aggressive out the gate.
That's true. That is very true.
That's a unicorn.
So just trolling the troll. Just trolling the troll. That is nice. Well done, the recovering problem child, if that was you.
I love it. I like.
Congratulations.
It's good stuff.
You got to have some fun out there.
There is stuff out there in the dating world. You do all this swiping, you match with somebody, and you think, oh, this is good. Yeah, maybe I could see taking her to a wedding. She'd probably be a lot of fun. Or I could see raising kids with her or something like that. And the next thing you know, she's like, do you want to talk?
My feet pics.
Yeah. Do you want to talk on this? Or I have special pics I can send you. Or here's OnlyFans. You're just like, man.
I had already imagined our life together.
Man, what a buzzkill. I've gotten pretty good at like noticing now just by their profile. They're like, nah, you're not real. No. Or you're real, but you're trying to get me to just pay for your things. And I'm not here for that. I got to pay for my things.
Yeah. We got to pay for our things when we thankfully were able to pay to go to the most recent Orlando Magic versus New York Knicks games. We're here in Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen. So anytime the Magic go to either the Knicks or the Nets, we try to make sure we get there. And we did indeed. It was a great time. We took a moment as we were entering to meet up with this Magic fan. And myself and Nadra took a picture of this poster, Paolo is him, which they then about 30 seconds later made him throw out as we were entering the arena.
Nadra got to bring in her full computer.
Yeah, she brought in a bag with computer. We brought in our microphones. We brought in tons of stuff.
Make it make sense, MSG.
Yeah, please. Why is that not okay?
I don't know, but it was the first time I've been to Madison Square Garden since probably the mid-2000s or something like that. It's been a while since I've been. It was pretty cool in there. Definitely one of those stadiums that I think is like got a lot of lore to it that you like to go to and see.
Yeah.
Recommend if you get a chance to see an event.
I think it's a little overhyped, but
It is a little overhyped, but there's something about that mystique. You know?
Yeah, for sure. People love to just come in and trash the Knicks, and unfortunately we couldn't this night, but we want to bring you a little along on our journey here, so we've put together a little compilation of the evening festivities. Hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, sir, is this the Bol Bol Train Train?
Yes, it is. Come on in.
Oh, thank you. Have a good one.
Always love walking through Grand Central. Been here a ton of times, but it's just always so beautiful. It's a really cool building.
25 and a half.
Yeah.
I'll give you a half the game. What are you feeling about that, James? You feeling over under that?
I liked over at 27, but it's so hard to predict because for whatever reason nobody can stay healthy. So if it's just, you can guarantee me that the majority of our guys play 66, 70 games, I think it's easy. And I think my prediction at the beginning of the season was 33 and 49, which I think would be a good 11-win improvement. And I wouldn't, they might not get that 10th spot for a play-in, but it's going to be, that's something you can point to and say you improved. If the goal is a play-in spot, Colts is going to be the reason why we're there.
I can't remember what our predictions were. We almost iced teeth tonight. And not in a rap way.
I mean, definitely the Paolo Banchero. But I think just seeing the team grow as a whole,
I mean, you know, it's still a lot of young talent on the team. See if they mesh.
He's rocking the Dennis Scott today again, which he was wearing when we went to the draft. I'm also wearing the same one I was wearing at the draft. It's important to have jersey fashion. Our camera lady is wearing Jalen Suggs tonight. And then the Wendell Carter Jr. on over there. Anybody else you want to shout out? You got anything you want to plug?
No, not really.
You don't have your own website or podcast? Come on, man. Me versus the microphone. Sort of like the Magic versus Mitchell Robinson. It's not going well.
Yeah, it did not go well tonight, Beach.
No,
Mitchell Robinson looked like an all-star.
he did. He didn't do anything spectacular. He was just in the right place at all the right times, as a big man should be, doing big man shit.
Big man shit. We got a lot of length, but as you said, we got younger.
And that's what's really important. Am I right? But hey, the Bol Bol Train Train was in full effect tonight. I think it started when you asked about it.
Yep. Well, we got on the right train. We got on the right train coming here.
I'm pleased with what I see there. If I'm looking for a bright spot from today, that's it. The Franz Paolo bring the ball up thing, I'm not really. I want that hot ball.
We're missing Markel.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sad train ride home. But
We got
more
free
basketball.
popcorn for the consolation prize, and it left a blue stain on my hands. Thanks, New York.
That was just a little taste. Hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to James and Matt, who we met up with. It was good hanging out with those guys. And if you're interested, I do have the whole extended cut of those interviews. They're going to be up on the Patreon along with some other things. So just head on over there and get involved. $5 a month. You get some exclusive content and help out the show. Because, Peach, you had some really hilarious segments that I just had to cut out, talking with Matt, especially about college football. And I was like, no, this is a basketball podcast. But it was hilarious. I just had to, squeeze it out. But there were some really good lines that I'm sorry, Peach.
For me, when I look at our Patreons, the number one thing is the outtakes.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
You get to see me get stuck in a coat.
Yeah.
There's lots of good stuff there. So.
Yeah. You get to see me start and restart segments about 4 or 5 times sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
which
you
is
see
always
me
fun.
try to get back into the same exact spot so we can start again.
I mean, what are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Help us meet these goals. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Now we are going into a fan favorite. As per our poll, starter, backup, and bench, Peach. Okay. In this segment, we are going to present ourselves with 3 options within a category, and we must rank them starter, backup, or bench. Starter being what we like the most for that category, bench which we like the least. Mm-hmm. Peach, are you ready to start for this one?
Oh, yeah.
First off, all right, most responsible for our slow 1-5 start. Is it coaching, players, or injuries? Where are you going on this, sir?
It might shock you.
Okay.
But I'm going to go players as the starter here. I think at the end of the day, you have to hold accountable the players that are on the court. And I'm not like putting a ton of blame on them because they're learning how to play together. So there's learning curve that I'm ready to accept. But I feel like that's the number one thing, because if more of these shots are going down, we're in or winning more of these games in this stretch because we were close on a lot of them.
Okay.
But,
makes sense. I'm with you on that.
That's why I would definitely put them number 1. At number 2, I'm got to go coaching.
Okay.
Because I feel like some of the lineups I've seen on the court at some point are a little whack.
All right.
And I understand Mosley's just trying to figure out what he's got for a group and who plays well together. And so I get that there's a learning curve there too. So I'm also pretty chill about it. And on the bench, I've got injuries. I'm not going to be that guy that stands here and says, oh, we can't beat this team because, we're missing 4 rotational players and 2 potential starters. That's an excuse a lot of teams in the league can use almost every game. There's somebody missing. So I'm not going to put that first. I got to put the onus on the players who are in these games, except for a few shots. So that's the way I go.
Well, I'll be that guy then, Peach. I will be that guy. My starter is our injuries as most responsible for our slow start. What are you thinking, Peach? Last year, we led the league with 446 man games lost from 17 players. The next closest team was Brooklyn. They had 110 less missed man played games. 110 less. And this year, we're already leading the league again with 30 man games lost, leading the second best team, the Grizzlies, by
Tissue?
11 games. Yes, I'll take a tissue, you bastard.
Crying and excuses. that
Whatever.
befit a usual New England fan with their excuses. Not coming with the excuses.
It might be an excuse, but it's a legitimate excuse, man. I mean, we're missing
Has
key
validity, but-
guys. And so, that's going to be the biggest reason. I think if we have Markelle Fultz and even Gary Harris, not even Jonathan Isaac, in our rotation, we're coming out of these first 5 games, not 1-4, but probably more like 3-2.
I'm beginning to wonder if the more mythical creature is the unicorn or the Jonathan Isaac playing. Didn't Franz Wagner just pass him the other day for most points scored?
Yes.
Like this
He
early
is
this
reaching
season?
like mythic proportions in terms of what we think, and hope he's going to bring to the team.
It's like the legend of Loch Ness. Like
Yeah.
someone saw it a long time ago, and then they just have to tell other people about it.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
They saw a snake a long time ago in the water, and it's grown to be a sea monster by now.
Yeah, I'll believe when I see it.
All right, on my as my backup, I'm having the players. All right, we're shooting like dog shit. It's not really no one. It's no one but the players doing that. So I'm going to talk a lot about that later, but they are my backup. And on my bench, Peach, is coaching. All right, I've heard a lot out there, people bemoaning Coach Mosley and saying, "What are you doing?" I'm putting the blame on Mose, and I'm not. I'm not ready for that. I hear what you're saying about the rotations, Peach, but I'm thinking about it from his perspective. He probably had a really solid plan moving into the year with his rotations, and they got blew up like 2 weeks into the season. Right? Gary Harris goes down, Markelle goes down, then Moritz catches an ankle at the end of the preseason. Those were 3 guys that were going to be in his rotations. Now I got to figure it all out again.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've got 3 key pieces coming in Caleb Houston, Bol Bol, who no one saw coming, and I'm sure Mo's probably had a better idea, but maybe didn't know how good he was going to be. And, of course, Paolo Banchero. And did we know how good Paolo Banchero is going to be? And it's clear right now he is our guy. So maybe he didn't quite see that so fast. So it's a gargantuan task that we're asking Mosley to do. And what I have seen from Coach Mosley, even though there have been, some times where we scratch our heads with the lineups. I remember we saw like a lineup with Caleb, Bol Bol, Bamba, Chuma, and Ross.
What about playing zone for like 5 or 6 possessions in a row?
Yeah, I don't love it. And I was critical of that move and that lineup, but maybe Mosley saw something coming with Bol Bol that I didn't know, putting him in that lineup. And we were talking about where's the scoring going to come from. Maybe it was coming from Bol. But anyways, I'm not going to be too hard on Coach Mosley. He is trying to lead by example. He's stepping up the intensity on the sideline. I'm not sure if you all have noticed this, but I have, hearing screaming on the sideline
Loud.
for pretty much the entire game. The last game, not the Knicks game. What was the one thereafter? The one that we live streamed. Anyways,
Cavs.
the Cavs game. He was yelling the entire freaking game. I don't know. I don't think he had a voice the next day, but that shows me he's leading by example. He's trying to show these young men what stepping up the intensity looks like,
Yeah.
and it starts with him. The buck stops with him. I still believe in his leadership.
Sure.
I still think that he can continue to learn the philosophies and create an offense that makes sense and bring these guys together. So coaching is on my bench.
Okay.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What's your starter, backup, and bench for what's most responsible for this season's slow start? Is it our coaching, our players, or our injuries?
Yeah, it's obviously kind of a negative connotation, but I mean, they're all part of the team to a certain degree. I feel like the injury guys, they're not part of the team. So that's why I did mine the way I did. But,
Okay.
we both had legit takes either way. And I'm totally fine with him, with coaching, getting that pass.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff to work out here.
Right.
And you made some great
Right.
points about that. So, I don't blame him. But I think his fire that you hear on the sideline is he's feeling the pressure to
Everyone
get some
is,
dubs.
yep.
He doesn't want these new guys on the team to start getting that
Questioning.
loss mentality
Yeah.
that kind of started to get over our team last year. So he wants to avoid that. And I get that, but it's good that he's picking up that intensity. I love that.
Okay, next. This next starter, backup, and bench is precipitated by a couple things. And I want to lead it off with a rather timely tweet from Kobe Price, our beat reporter. He's letting us know about some of the front office moves that we've been making lately. which involved this starter backup and bench. The Magic have exercised their third-year options on Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, as well as their fourth-year team options on guard Cole Anthony and forward Chuma Okeke. RJ Hampton's fourth-year RJ Hampton's fourth-year option for the 23-24 season wasn't picked up per source, which may have been a little surprising to you, and it kind of leads to this starter backup and bench between the Magic outcasts, and those are Chuma, Bamba, and RJ, who have rarely seen the floor in this first 5 games. Peesh, how are you ranking them?
Well, before I give my take, I'd be interested to see what everyone else's take are in the comments, because these are the 3 players that I see the most shade thrown at during the course of the Magic Twitter checkouts. And I get that purpose. So I guess for me, if I'm going starter, I'm actually going with RJ here. I've seen good stuff from RJ this season.
That's who you want most minutes for. That's who
I'd want the most minutes from this bunch.
Okay.
I just haven't seen the typical old school RJ stuff. I've seen him improve, and yet have seen his numbers or his minutes decline. So I'm confused by that.
Yeah.
Especially in a time when we're missing guards here at the beginning of the season. I would have expected to see RJ out there a little more than I have. I'm not really sure what that's about. But everything I've seen from him has been either it's not blowing my mind, but it's not bad like it used to be, where there's the turnovers and the you know what I mean? So it's definitely that's it for me. And then as the backup, I would go Chuma. And Chuma's still great on defense. He has good, quick hands. He's not getting a lot of calls from officials at this point. His shot is just atrocious and needs work. I don't know what is going on with it, but he's open for a lot of threes that he can't hit anymore with any kind of regularity. And it's a shame, because he should be the starter of this group in my book, but he can't be because he's just not bringing any offensive noise to the pile. I have Bamba on my bench. I know we saw good things from him last night. As somebody pointed out in the live stream, he has a good game every 6th game or something like that, and makes you realize, oh yeah, he's capable of doing this stuff. I'm not having it anymore. I don't need a big that's acting like the Human Torch that only plays well once in a while and heats up.
Yeah.
I need somebody who's consistent in there. I need somebody who can do big man shit. I need Bol Bol more than I need Mo Bamba. So Bamba is on my bench.
Okay.
Well,
we find common ground there. I'll start there on the bench, because I've got Bamba on the bench as well. He's the least efficient scorer of this group. All right. He continues to look lost, and maybe that's some of this new role. I don't know.
Looked lost consistently.
Yeah, okay, I'm trying to be nice over here. He's shooting 20% from 3, which is supposed to be one of his strengths, 60% at the rim, which I guess you're like, all right, that's considerably more than half the time. But for a big man, that's horrible. Yeah. As a comparison, I talked earlier about how Bol's shooting 90% at the rim. So to your point about give me those Bol minutes over the Bamba minutes.
Most NBA players should be shooting a high percentage at the rim.
Yeah. So we saw some life last game, scoring 19 points. But, I want, as you said, more big man shit. We saw a little bit of that. He swatted a shot. He had an alley-oop.
Oh, he posterized McDaniels in a way that made you realize, who is this guy?
Right. And it's just that consistency. Will this continue? You know what we need to do? Is it possible? Can we have Steve Clifford coach every team, every opponent that we have this year? Because that might work. And that's my only hope for Bamba. On my bench, I had a little variation here. I zigged here. Or zagged? I don't know. Anyways, my magician hat, my wizard hat's on a little too tight.
You'd only be zagging if we're talking about Jalen Suggs, but we're not.
No, I'm going RJ Hampton. Okay, I got that one because he's from Gonzaga. Yeah. All right. RJ Hampton is on my bench, Peach. And this was tough. I initially had him as my starter, but I thought you might. And I said, you know what? For the benefit of this show, I'm going to switch it up because I've got a good argument for Chuma in just 1 second. But RJ Hampton, he's been playing great. He's getting the most steals of anyone in this crew. He's been the most effective and efficient offensive player in this group. He just hasn't been getting that many minutes. I guess he's shooting okay from 3, 50%. He's 1 of 2. So,
when stats don't matter.
There you go. Sample size. He just hasn't had a lot of opportunity, which you said, which is really surprising and troubling. And now with this news from Kobe Price, it's making me scratch my wizard head and wonder, what is going on here? Because we desperately need guard play. Last year, we seemed to put RJ in every situation, even when we didn't need him there. And now when we could use that guard play, there's almost a reluctance to do so. We're not picking up his option. Is there something happening here behind the scenes that we're just not aware of? And that's making me curious, Pish. It's making me curious. So I'm going to keep an eye on that narrative as the season continues. And as my starter, I combined Chuma and starter. As my starter, I have Chuma. He's gotten the most minutes of the three, which seems to indicate that the coach has the most confidence in him. Yes, he is struggling from three, shooting 28.6%. Yuck.
When did he make one?
I don't know, but so everyone is struggling from three. So that's not just a problem with him. Of this group, he turns the ball over least, only 4.7% compared to Bamba, which is 14%, RJ 16%. So he's at least not turning the ball over. He's not causing
a missed shot. Still kind of a turnover.
That's fair. That's fair. But really, why I have him in this as my starter is because I still think he's the most versatile and best defender of this group. He's 19th in the NBA in terms of defensive field goal percentage, meaning what his opponents shoot against him. So he's still a top tier defender in this league. And I just think that that's more valuable than what RJ or Bamba are bringing to the table in terms of at least one skill that we can utilize in a game.
I have a take that I was going to call hot, but then I really felt like it's more like the Tostitos mild, which is hot to me.
Right. It's not a Vermont hot. This is like a Chilean South American hot.
I think all three of these guys aren't on our roster for whatever championship run we make eventually. These are just roster spots that we can fill with a veteran that's going to produce at a higher level more consistently.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, look, at one point we were trying to trim the roster down and you kind of knew. You were like, I don't think Devin Kennedy's going to make this team. And you hate to say it because you love the guy. But when you're looking at the basketballness of it and you're looking at guys' overall ratings and who's going to go where and what's going to go what, these are those three guys that, if we're going to bring in more dudes, some people have to leave.
Right. Especially with Bamba's contract, it's a little over $10 million right there. That's a really nice contract to move in terms of money to get a guy, a veteran guy.
Right. We just got to get someone to watch Mo Bamba play only every 6th game, and then their scout's going to be like, this guy's amazing. Trade for him.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Did we do okay? Would you have ranked him differently? Are we crazy? Do you think Pisha's take is a hot one? Do you think these guys are on the roster moving forward and into the championship window that we hope will open at some point in our future? And last starter back of the bench, someone that would have a big deal to do with that championship window if it in fact does open soon, which, I don't know, the stars portend such if I'm a wizard and I can see it. They do, is Paolo Banchero. So, starter back of the bench, Pish, Paolo's defense, driving, and playmaking.
Yeah, it's weird that we've gotten this deep in a show about the Orlando Magic, and people are probably like, "Where's the Paolo time?"
Yeah.
Like, give this man his flowers. And it's like, all right, well, we will hear a little bit now. But the nice thing is, if I may, before I get into this, the national media is kind of covering that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So hey, that's fun, right? Like, it's nice to get
all the
noticed.
LeBron comparisons.
So they show some highlights just so that people are like, we're aware that this superstar is happening down in Orlando. They're mattering again. What I'm most impressed with from Paolo is probably the playmaking.
Okay.
And this is a tough call for me because I'm really in love with his driving.
Yeah, I know, man. Damn, I think sounds like we're gonna have the same
I just
ranking here.
Like, I mean, the defense is good, but it's not blowing my mind. It's he's just doing what a guy in his frame should do.
Okay.
For me, it's the fact that he at 19 is playmaking and kind of like deciding what are we doing on this play. Sometimes he just creates for himself. Sometimes he's looking for the other guys. That's not something I would expect from a regular 19-year-old. So that's what tells you that he's really special. And his ability to then play make for himself and drive to the basket, the way he uses that frame and spaces and can get shots up, and man, is he getting to the foul line at an insane rate. Woo! Like, I think he was 4th in the league at like free throw attempts.
He's 6 right now. He's behind Luka, Giannis, KD, Tatum,
Right.
and Embiid for some reason.
Your regular list of guys who make a living at the line, and he's getting there. So that is huge, huge, huge. But I kind of knew he had that ability, and that's the only reason I'm putting it as the backup on this one.
Okay.
Because I saw that in college when he would do it and was like, oh, this is a part of his game that's nice.
Yep.
The playmaking, I didn't quite see as much, and so I'm loving that.
Let me jump in with you. Can I jump in? We'll do this one a little differently. I'm agreeing with you. Playmaking is my starter.
Yeah.
So I'll add some numbers here.
Oh.
So you could take a nap. He's quickly become our best player. I think our core player. He's assisting Peach on 20% of his teammates' made shots, and it could be more if people would make some freaking shots. I'm okay.
Absolutely.
I'm okay.
He would have had a triple-double in the game the other night.
I
if
know.
the guys were hitting.
I know. And that assist ratio, that assist percentage, 20%, that's 3rd in the league. That's behind Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan. And it's ahead of guys like Paul George, Jason Tatum. He's 12th in the league in points per game among forwards as a rookie. So that's pretty impressive when you consider that many and most of the top scorers in the league are now considered like forward guys, like Luka, Tatum, all those types of guys. They're all these like wing players. So I don't know. I consider his points per game kind of in his playmaking is making a play for himself and for others. He has the ability to do both, which is just amazing.
Yes.
And I think puts him into that superstar type of caliber.
Well, I'll agree. I think the next point you're about to make is what really puts him in the superstar caliber, because there are tons of guys that can come in this league and distribute.
Right.
And some of them can also score.
Yes.
But can they defend?
Right. Right. So I agree with you. Driving is my backup for the same reasons that you already talked about him, and I did too. My bench is defense. That's where my bench is. I did, I had to make a decision here.
Something's got to be third.
Something's got to be third, and everyone was maligning this guy that he can't defend a freaking cone. Couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, but he's pretty damn good. He's a pretty damn good defender. Right now, he's 37th in the entire NBA in terms of his defensive field goal percentage, what his opponents are shooting when he is the primary defender. There's 450 guys in the league, right? That's 30 times 15 roster spots. 450. He's 37th. That's like top 8% in the entire NBA as a rookie defender.
Right.
And he's been guarding guys like Tatum, Cade Cunningham, Gordon Hayward to a slightly lesser extent. Like,
wow, that's the best I have.
These like very capable wing players.
Yeah.
And he's doing a damn good job against them.
Agree.
So
it's hard to put that on the bench, but in this,
yeah,
to me, it wasn't really surprising. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of, I was asked to frame it in what is your things that you're impressed by? And I'm impressed by the defense, but I'm not shocked by it. So.
It's tough to poke a hole in this guy's game right now. I guess if I had to nitpick, his efficiency still isn't there. He's kind of taking some of those ISO shots that it's like, maybe could have made a pass there instead. And his 3-point shooting hasn't come around, although he did 2 out of 4 last night. Yep. He's had a couple games where he's gone 0 for. And one game where he didn't even shoot one when I needed to just make one for my freaking parlay. I'm okay. No, I'm okay. But what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously we're ecstatic. We've got to be. We have, I think, a guy. We have a guy that we can see as a superstar who we can build a team around, where a team is almost already built around him, and we can just add a few more pieces and have a really complete squad. What do you think here? Would you have ranked it the same between his playmaking, driving, and defense? What's your starter, backup, and bench for Paolo? How you feeling about our new rookie? You think he can make an all-star game in his rookie year?
I think it's possible with the numbers that he's putting up right now. And honestly, anyone can make the all-star game because they allow the fans to vote.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. That's only part of the deliberation.
Yeah, right. But if he makes like the starting lineup, honestly, if you don't quite make the starting lineup, but a lot of fans voted for you,
yeah,
they still pop you in.
And I think he's very popular amongst just general NBA people are really kind of seeing how excellent he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's upset anybody at this point. And I think people are like, oh, LeBron's old. We need a new one.
Yeah.
Your stats are doing what his did as a rookie. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Everyone's,
the names I mentioned amongst the guys he's in, those are all all-stars.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's like he's a possibility to wear the crown.
Yeah.
And so people are like, all right, well, let's take a look here.
Yeah.
So that's good because you don't want to be one of those guys who's like, I don't want to give him the crown.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
So-
People, yeah, we don't want, no one's throwing shade at him.
No, and no one hates the Magic really because we just kind of toil in the
We've been hanging out.
yeah, just hanging out, and so
No longer.
people can easily get behind it.
We're coming for you. All right. Well, it's our turn now, Peach. We just talked about how people are putting some sunshine onto our beloved Paolo Banchero.
Oh,
And no one's really thrown any shade on him, which is a good thing.
yeah.
So now it's our turn to cast a little sunshine and throw a little shade in sunshine and shade, Peach.
Are we gonna do sunshine, both of our sunshines, and
Okay.
then shade it up, or what's your?
Yeah, I
what's
don't
the
know.
attack?
Yeah. Or should we do the shade first and then brighten it up?
Let's go that way.
Okay. All right, Peach.
Send it up positive
So
note.
who are you putting some shade on, Peach?
I'd like to put some shade on the Cleveland Cavaliers in arena entertainment. One of the joys of the NBA package that we get to watch is we get to see all the stuff that goes on in the arena in between.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
We like that stuff.
I love it when our squad does it. I love DJ
Yeah.
D Strong and Corey.
Yeah, the
running
fan
stuff.
cam.
I love all that stuff. The fan. I like to see what other teams are doing.
Yeah.
What are they doing for fun? The Cleveland in arena entertainment was just so poor from game beginning to end. I never really even saw their dance squad. So
Yeah.
they couldn't get
Well-
into the championship because the only dance squad I saw was their golden oldies.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I like it when the old folks go. And some of
Yeah.
the people on their squad,
Got moves.
they had some moves.
Yeah.
All right. But like that's like a haha, that was fun. And then
Yeah.
like, better stuff later or
Right.
different stuff or give me some variety.
Never came.
Unbelievable. It was just weird, man. Like they weren't doing anything in there. If I'm a Cavs fan and obviously the team is decent and good
Yeah,
and should
very
be a
good.
top Eastern Conference team.
They're number one, I think,
Because
right
they
now.
are not going for the for the entertainment in between. Like they're just not even trying.
It's like the dance team was on strike that night or something.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know, but like if we play in Cleveland again, maybe they'll get a shot at the belt. But in this one, it was almost like, the Hawks continued to keep the belt because of a disqualification. Like, they didn't even show up to the ring. So to me, that's a miss. They didn't do as much fun things with giving out T-shirts and like getting the crowd hyped. They
Yeah.
seemed very lame, and I don't know if maybe they're missing some people. Maybe the injury bug has hit their
Yeah,
their
they're dancing. Yeah.
I don't know, but for me, you got to put in a little bit more effort. These fans pay a lot of money to go to these games.
Yeah.
You got to entertain your home fans. Put something on at halftime. Get some guy balancing stuff or people
Yeah.
shooting half-court shots for hundreds of dollars and stuff, and do some fun stuff. And it was a stinker all game from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if you're going to watch the Magic on the road, don't do it in Cleveland. It does not rock. Keep it shady, my friend.
Some more shade. Bring in the clouds. I'm not going to be quite as creative as you, Peach. I'm going to throw some shade on our shooting. Okay?
Here comes stats.
It's the low-hanging fruit, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to, okay? I can't let us slide on it. We're 29th of 30 in the league from three. 29% from three. Only, and this is the only maybe sunshine in this, the Lakers are worse, okay? That's the only silver lining I have, and that's good. It bleeds into our offense. Obviously, our offense is ranked 28th in the league. And, these games that are being decided by these misses from three. We mentioned it as a show. You mentioned it in What I Learned. The loss to the Hawks by 10 seems bad, but we went 8 for 34 from three.
Yeah.
8 for 34. So it's like that game really, we were in it in the end until kind of the very end of the fourth quarter. And if we would have made a couple threes,
Yep.
that's a 2-point game at Ports. That's a 4-point game. We're right there. Same thing with New York. The final score was 13, but we were in it. We were down by 6 in the fourth quarter. That was a pretty close game. 7 for 35.
Right.
20% from three. A few more shots falling, and we win that game.
Yep.
It's really bad. It's been the woe, and it's not like the defenses we're playing against are freaking world movers. All right.
Well, Celtics.
We were missing. That's true. We've been missing a lot of open shots, and it's just troubling. And it needs to get the clouds. All right, Peach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody doesn't realize that that's a problem at this
No.
point. We need that shooting, and it does stink to think that we sent perhaps one of our best shooters to not make the team in Kennedy. But
the only
honestly,
team
if they're not
where-
going to give RJ minutes, then maybe they wouldn't have minutes for him either, to be
Yeah.
honest. So,
I mean, I think they want Caleb Houston to fill that role, and
Yeah.
he may.
Sure.
He may. He's still shooting decently, but not good
I'm
because
impressed
no
with
one's
what I've
shooting
seen
well.
from him as well.
No one is shooting well. All right, I'm rubbing my brow because I'm just so upset right now, Peach. So I need some sunshine, Peach. Come on,
He is shine. Okay.
I need some.
You know what sunshine's good for?
Yeah.
It's good for flowers. For growing.
Oh yes.
And that's what we've seen here a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like the problem with growing is that growing, it takes time.
It does.
You can't just put the Miracle Grow in there and turn around 2 days later and see a full flower in bloom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it takes a while.
You're right.
The roots got to grow in the soil. The soil's got to be good. Got to
Love
be
the
moist.
extended metaphor,
Love a
yes.
moist soil. Then you got to have a stem come up. You're going to have some
Yeah.
things come off.
Oh yeah, leaves.
Things going to stop at the and then it's going to get a little sun. It's going to bloom.
Oh, blooming.
We're not at that bloom point.
Okay.
We don't have that flower up there to the point where it's ready to bloom.
Where
out there
are we
yet.
working on stalk yet?
We
Where
got
are
a
we?
stem.
We
stem
got
is
a slight
poked out
stem.
of the dirt.
Okay.
And it's headed for the sun.
For the sun. Okay.
And I think it's important that everyone take that mindset, as I've said several times on this show and every live stream, and I will continue to say this until you guys all get it through your skull, that like you got to relax. You got to understand that this is a process and it takes time. You're not just going to get a flower the day after you put dirt in a pot. You know, it takes some time to grow. And these are what they call growing pains, right? Not just a popular TV show from the 80s. It's an actual saying, growing pains. But the fact is, growing is the first word there.
Yeah.
So growing, you got to see that there's been positivity and better
Yeah.
raining all down on our team.
Yes.
And it
This
is
is
getting
true.
that soil wet
Yep.
that will make the flower go. So
Yeah.
you got to look at that positive, everybody. In a couple of years from now, there'll be a flower up there that you'll be like, oh, look at this flower. It's almost ready
This
to
is
go.
a very strong
You know?
flower.
And this is part of it. So don't get down about losing 5 games in a row. I'm sure there's going to be another one of those streaks in this season where we lose 5 games in a row. That's just a fact. So get it through, be ready to accept, and move forward. As long as we're taking steps forward and not going backwards, we're going to have a nice flower in a few years.
Well, I
So
think
do it.
I think that Magic fans are seeing that. They think they're appreciating Peach's message of temperance. They're listening, and they're seeing, because I want to throw some sunshine on you all out there, Orlando Magic fans, particularly you down in the Orlando area who are showing up to these games right now. Yes, clap it up. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be joining you down there in February. More to come about that. But Magic right now, Peach, we're 10th in the league for attendance. For a small, as we say, a small market team that people always insult as kind of
Only 2 home games.
being outside of nowhere. Yeah, but we're there.
Still.
And we're ahead of teams like the Lakers, and they've had home games, and the Bulls, who are in Chicago, and the Clippers, who are also in LA.
Yep.
So-
Ticket prices might be a factor there.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't care what the factor is. People are showing up. And that's what I love, and that's what I see.
go.
And we're able to see it here. We're in Connecticut. We're watching on the NBA package. We're getting the Bally Sports feed, and we are seeing it and hearing you in the arena. And the players are clearly feeding off it. I know there's been some negative body language from them at times early on, but I think that's because they know they're letting us down. And they don't want to see it anymore. These guys don't want to lose, yes, for themselves because they're competitors, but they're trying to get a win for us, for the fan base, for the city. So, Orlando Magic fans, salute to you. That is your sunshine. You're awesome. Keep it up.
Yeah, it's excellent to see that. I know when we watch those things every once in a while, but the other day we saw the Bally Sports. If you buy one ticket, Bally
Oh,
Sports will
God,
buy your other
yes.
ticket. And we're like, oh
Fuck,
man.
we need to move to Orlando
Oh,
right
man.
now.
Like you can just get you get 2 tickets for the price of one. Like what? Come on.
Yeah,
you
like
guys gotta get
4
in
home
there.
games for $45.
Let's go.
We paid
Let's-
$130 to go to the one game in the Madison Square.
Right. So I'm glad to see that people are taking advantage of the opportunity to get
Hell
in
yeah.
there and see this team as they start to grow, because it'll be more fun
Yeah.
when they win.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on now into some other, well, Peach is winning and I'm not. I'm losing. The Court Cousins Championship. And now, Peach, if I can do it without knocking down the whole set,
Ooh,
I'm going to pass
look out.
this.
It's
I'm
like
going
a
to
sexy
present
game
it
of
to you
operation.
right now.
Well, you don't present it to me. I didn't win.
Oh, there's 2. We go, every round.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Haha, never mind.
Yeah, I got to
It's
win
staying
another
over
week.
here. It's staying over here.
I'm up, but
Okay, that's right.
not over.
We do 2 rounds. It's every month
that's right.
the belt passes. Okay. Oh, you're staying here, baby.
Let's
Don't
go for
worry.
how the show works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the only bet I lost from last show is the one that I wanted to lose the most.
Yep.
And it's about the Bol Patrol. I set that average for him for games at 5 points and 3 rebounds.
Yep.
And that's lower than I would have liked to have set it because he averaged 9.8 and 5.8, so essentially 10 and 6. I probably would have gone with like 8 and 5, but I knew
I wasn't feeling
desperate
that
to
at the
take the
time,
under, and I wasn't really 100% sure. But I'm so glad that he got the over. I set that lower to try to bait you in, and it worked. And it worked in your favor.
Yeah, it did. And then T. Ross, I set the line of points just too high, 14.5. Peach takes the win. Ross he tried a violent effort with that 29-point game. I thought that was going to be enough to cement
his
it.
saving grace
Yeah,
as
but
far as getting this
an average of 13.6 doesn't meet that. We did a throwback to last season. We had Franz versus WCJ. I took Franz just to stay consistent, and you took WCJ. And Franz came up a little short by just
close,
2
man.
points,
It's
man.
close.
2 points. Maybe I should do a recount on that. I'll have to check that out.
Some of the Magic fans too are giving a little bit of shade to WCJ, like, oh, he's not playing as well as we thought and stuff like that. Well, here he was 2 better in the pra than your boy Franz.
Yeah. So he's doing well enough, ladies and gentlemen, and he's still got room to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we took Banchero free throw attempts. I set this one too low, clearly. I said 6 free throw attempts, which I thought was decent, and he's been averaging 9. Peach took the over and won that one. So right now we're sitting at Peach has 3, I have 1. I need to at least get 3 wins in this next round to keep the belt, to retain the belt, or sweep, and then I obviously keep it. But if Peach wins 2, the belt goes to him. You ready?
I'm ready to have the belt back. Yes.
All right. Well, let's see.
Ready to go with
It's been a while.
set of bets.
Here we go. Every episode, 4 bets, total of 8 bets a month to decide for this puppy. What's the first bet you have for me, Peach?
Well, first off, the games in this set are going to be at Dallas, at Oklahoma City, and then at home for Golden State, Sacramento, Houston, and Dallas. So some good teams in there, but also some winnable games. Going to start with a bet here on the man that just was the last bet of the last one. Paolo has not yet put up a 30-point game.
Okay,
Just
interesting question.
missed it, right?
Yep.
And so in the next set of these 6 games, will Paolo put up a 30-point game in there?
That's all I have to say, yes or no?
I'm going to set this at 1.5.
Okay.
So I'm giving him 1. Is he going to get 2?
I'm going to go under. I think he's going to get 1.
1. Okay.
I don't think there will be 2, only because, as we talked about in Starter Back of the Bench, he's such a good facilitator and he's looking to get others involved. Although, I don't know, man. I mean, he easily could have had it last game if we didn't bench him. And these games are going to be closer. I mean, Dallas, Golden State, those games are going to be close.
Yep.
Sacramento's a decent team now. Houston, OKC could be blowouts, but I don't love it, but I'm going to take it under just because we haven't seen it yet. So for me to say in 2 of the next 6, that would just be going against all the math.
When I originally came up with the concept, he had 1.
Oh, yeah, that's
I later
fair.
went back and took it
I
away.
mean, he did
But
almost.
I was going to stick with the 1.5 because there's 6 games and I've seen improvement from him. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I kind of hope I lose that one. But I hope then I win these next 3. So the next one, Peach, I know you love big man shit. So this one is some big man shit for you. WCJ currently averaging 9.2 rebounds per game. That's off his average from last year where he got 10.5. In the next 6, will he go over under 10 per game?
this is tough because I think with Bol Bol in there, he's been getting some of those boards.
True.
And there's definitely been a concerned effort from
Paolo's
everyone else to
rebounding.
rebound and Paolo as well. So it's tough to say he's going to get the over, but I hate to take the under on our guys.
Yeah, I know. It's tough to do.
But 10.5 feels pretty high to me.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's good for about 10 a game. Sometimes gets 11, but also sometimes puts an 8 or 9. So I'm just going to go math-wise. I have to take the under here.
Okay.
Sorry, WCJ. I hope you prove me wrong, but I'm trying to take home the belt here. So I'm going under.
That's fair.
All right. So now I talk.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have us get on the Bol Bol Train Train again.
Let's go. All aboard the Bol Bol Train Train.
Does it continue to chug? Does it continue to be just a plethora of goodness.
Yes.
Barreling down the tracks and swatting shots and being just galloping down the court. He's averaging 9.8 points and 5.8 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Does Bol do better than 10-6 in the next stretch of games?
I'm gonna just get all aboard, Pish.
He's doing it.
I'm getting all aboard. I know you're making me reach here, and I was a Bol doubter a little bit. I was a Bol doubter a little bit. But now I think as many injured guards as we have, and we saw Point Bol last game, he's going to be getting more minutes. I think 10-6 is very doable. So, yeah, I'm going to say over on this one.
Okay.
Last, but certainly not least, the Wunderkind, Franz Wagner. He has been a little quiet so far this year. Through 6, he's averaging 15.8 points per game. Yeah. I'm going to go over under, Pish, 16.5 points per game for Franz in the next 6. What are you saying?
Well, I'd like to applaud you on your line.
Thank you, sir.
Because I feel like if you just gave me what he's averaging the first 6,
right, you meant to take
easily
over.
take the over.
Right, making you think about it.
16, but 16.5, it makes you think. I'm trying to look at who we're playing, and I see Dallas is in there twice. I know he's going to be going hard on defense. Sometimes that takes him out of his offensive game. And I think he's kind of becoming a little bit more of a facilitator. It doesn't seem like he's looking for his shot as much.
Okay.
I can't take the under on 2 of our players, so I'm taking the over.
All right.
This is a pure gut here. I can't take
I was trying to lure you into the under on that.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
He's starting to...
He's getting more comfy.
More comfy.
With him and Paolo, they're working off each other better.
He goes so hard on D that he uses a lot of his effort there, and he is becoming more of a playmaker. But I think he's kind of realizing that, it's up to me and Paolo to kind of be our main scorers.
Yeah.
Especially if Cole is out. So, someone's got to put points in. I got to believe he's going to get at least 17, 18 in the next 6 games because someone's going to need to help Paolo fill it up.
Okay.
So I'm taking the over.
All right. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's a wrap on round 2 of the Court Cousins Championship. Stick around. We'll see who wins that. And also make sure you stay to the end of the show because we're going to give away those instructions for our prize pack giveaway. And, of course, the large ending. You can't miss that. We want to shout out again all of our all-stars and second cousins on Patreon. Thank you, Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Wally Akbar, Al, Bernie Pichet, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Gloria and Damien, Yadi Connor, and the Polish Wonder. Thanks so much. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got $5 a month, head on over to Patreon. Sign up there. We've got a lot of exclusive content up already, stuff that you can check out, and more that we want to do. We've got some goals posted that we're really trying to reach, and your financial support helps us to get there quicker, helps us to improve the show. So thanks so much for just being a part of this.
Gonna throw in a plug I don't think you're gonna see coming.
Okay.
If you're into F1 racing, we've mentioned it a few times during the large ending. We opened up a box of the Topps F1 cards. I know nothing about F1 racing. There's plenty of jokes in there.
And he pulled a 1 of 5.
And
we pulled a freaking 1 of 5.
Pretty great cards.
Yeah.
So check out Card Cousins and check that sucker out.
Yeah. And, always thank you for liking, subscribing, and watching, or just, leaving this on as you leave the house for the workday, just playing our channel in the background. Keeping the animals company, it all helps. All right, it's time, Peach. Hit the music. Let's go into the large ending. Kanye's school, Donda Academy, is closing down along with his life, leaving the basketball team in limbo. Jaylen Brown has stepped in to say he'll sponsor any basketball tournament that hosts these young men. Are you changing your attitude now on Jaylen Brown for playing in D. Brown's number and having the same last name, Peach?
No, still a silly move, but as a man, this is a great move.
Yes.
Someone was going to do it.
Yeah.
It just happens to be Jaylen Brown. So
well done, sir.
In this case, I like that he's doing it, but it's got a little bit of a Christopher Columbus vibe. Someone would have ran into this rock at some point.
Okay.
What is your favorite nickname for an NBA player of all time? There's a lot of good ones out there.
There's a lot of good ones. I love Skip to My Lou, but that's not really, that happened before the NBA.
Sure.
I like Minister of Defense for Jonathan Isaac. David Steele coined that one. That's probably my favorite one on the team. But I'm going to have to go with a little throwback. Robert Traylor. He was a mountain of a man.
Was.
Drafted 6 overall and then traded for Dirk Nowitzki. The nickname tractor trailer.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. Matching, like, it's like fridge or bus-esque. You know, the bus, like, it's perfect for how big a man that man was.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, Peach, today...
I liked Diesel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shaq.
You like Shaq Diesel?
Also in the vehicle world.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So today, Peach, you're going to the zoo. What's your favorite animal and why?
Ooh, this is a tough one. And these guys want me to say dragon. But
Yeah.
as far as animals I'm actually going to see at the zoo,
Yeah.
I'm going with dragon. The bearded dragon's a real thing.
All right.
What's your go-to bevy when you need a boost? I know you're not a coffee guy.
I really don't drink it much.
Energy. What do you go?
But I did have a little bit of
a little Java.
decaf coffee today.
Oh,
I can
okay.
only do the decaf. If I do the coffee, I'm lying on the ground taking meditation breaths. My heart's gonna pop out of my chest. I feel like I'm on cocaine or
So
something.
no energy beverages for you whatsoever.
Nope, not at all.
Interesting.
All right, Peach, as I was setting this up, I see all this hat. You have a box of hats. You have more hats than any human I've ever seen.
I know.
Do you
Just
think
the
you
one
could
head.
pick them all out of a lineup?
Yeah.
Do you have a story with each and every one of them?
Not necessarily a story with everyone,
Okay.
but I could probably tell you why I bought everyone or where it came from.
What's the most recent one you bought and why?
Ooh. I don't know. It's been a while since I bought a hat.
Which is good because you have 1,000 of them.
Yeah, actually, the orange Orlando Magic hat, that might be one of the last ones I got, which was basically just to match all of our orange stuff.
And that was from when we went down last year.
Yeah,
so that
I
has
think I
a
did get that
sentimental
when we were down
memory right there. Okay, that's very nice. I like it.
Halloween is here, and obviously, what have we got here? What are you dressing up as? Is what I was going to ask you, but you came to the show.
I came to the show. Yeah, I
I'm
beat
Dwight
you to the
Howard.
punch.
I'm getting no credit for dressing up in full uniform as Dwight Howard. I'm Dwight Howard.
And I'm Kyle the Red, throwing a little homage to Lord of the Rings. I'm a wizard, Peach. I've had this costume for about probably 10 years now.
Okay.
I bought it in college going to a Renaissance fair, and I've just had it ever since. And anytime I'm in a pickle, this is my shtoom. I just throw this
Sure.
puppy on, and it works.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, another question I was going to ask you is if you're a Renaissance or Renaissance.
Okay.
And you answered it already.
Yep. No, I'm into it. I've already gone to a Renaissance. I had a turkey leg and drank some mead. So I did it. Fall, I did it, you know? We're getting ready for the
Stick that in
winter.
your pumpkin spice and smoke it.
I enjoy nutmeg and cinnamon.
Well, I enjoy nutmeg and cinnamon. I've really enjoyed doing this show with you, Peach. Hope you got some yucks out there. That's all for us, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Thanks for coming.